Random pickup time. Kind of a great buy, but not really a great buy. So just a regular pickup. At lunch, technically I had a half day today, so at lunchtime, which is my half day, I went down to the grocery store to pick up some stuff. And the grocery store I went to just happens to be across the way from the Salvation Army that is near where I work. So I went in there, popped in, looked around, and happened to find a few things. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So, first off, let's do a couple of hardcovers that I picked up. First one is from Ellie Modesett Jr., the first novel of a stunning new fantasy series, The Soprano Sorceress. Don't know anything about it, but it's fantasy, released by Tor, first edition, hardcover, no writing. It's got a nice map in it, and actually the dust cover thing was on backwards when I first found it, so I had to put it on the right way. And for $3, I mean, this was $37 when it first came out, so $3. I figured I'd get it. Of course, if it's the first in a series, I'm going to have to track down the other ones now. Such is life. The next one I picked up. Now, price tag on it says it's been reduced to $20. I'm sure it probably got down to the $10 mark. But originally $37 when it first came out. And that is J.K. Rowling's The Casual Vacancy. Essentially the first book she wrote for her adult fiction, you know, after the whole Harry Potter thing, which, by the way, I have not read. Sorry to all those out there who are like, what? Yes, I have not yet read the Harry Potters, but I figured, you know what, for $3, I'm going to pick this up, because eventually I'm going to read the Harry Potters, and then I'll probably, I don't know if I'll read this before or after, you know, I might want to read her progression as a writer type thing and then jump into this, just so I'm not reading this and then going back to the first few Harry Potters and going, okay, well, you know, style has changed or, you know, over the years. So yeah, so I picked this up, $3. Why not? It's technically, I guess, a first edition. Dust cover's got a little bit of dirt, but whatever. Next up is two movies. The first one, I saw the spine and immediately was drawn to it, and that's Killer Instinct. I pulled it out, and then I saw this cover, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get that. It's got Corbin Burnson and Dee Wallace Stone in it. And it says, welcome to the asylum. You don't stand a ghost of a chance with all those skulls and a spooky house. And it's from Lionsgate. And then I'm reading on the back and I'm like, yeah, okay. Interesting. This could be good. It could be bad. But I don't know. I haven't watched it. But it is rated 18A. Which usually says something. It's not a PG movie. So 18A. It's a good start. So $3. I picked this up. Will it be $3 well spent? I don't know. But I spent it anyways. The next one, oh, and I also checked and I couldn't see that it was on Blu-ray, so that's one of the reasons why I get it. Next one up, I've seen this several places, brand new, not brand new, and such. But I've never picked it up, and it's piqued my interest several times. It's rated R, which is good. And on the back it says, a story of the supernatural that begins and ends with a chilling display of samurai swordsmanship. Now, I could already, it's possible I own this and I picked it up at like a Dollarama or something like that for like $2-3, and it's in my pile of what to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. And that is The House Where Evil Dwells, and I looked it up, and this DVD alone is going for about $20 online. So That is kind of a great buy, eh? If it's regularly $20, I got it for $3, but for some reason I think I've seen it around the $3 to $5 mark before, so I may own it already, I may not. Either way, I picked it up because if I didn't own it and I passed it up, I'd be kicking myself, and if I do own it, it was only $3, not a problem. And yeah, so that was it for this one. A really quick pickup video, nothing special, but I thought I'd show you just in case you were interested in getting any of what I got. Not that you can go out and get it, because that's the thing with thrift stores and pawn shops. It's not like they carry the same inventory everywhere, right? So just because I got it doesn't mean you can. So yeah, sorry if you are now envious of the fact that I managed to pick all that up for $3 a pop. And for those of you who didn't know they even existed, now you do, and that's kind of the reason why I do these videos. It's part education. Hey, I don't know all the movies that are out there, which means you definitely don't. Not that I'm saying I know that, you know, more about movies or anything. But honestly, for the average Joe, definitely know more about movies. For the cinephile, give it or take, could be either way. You never know. I'm currently catching up on my Hitchcock. I literally, other than, you know, The Birds and Psycho, I hadn't really seen a lot of Hitchcock. So I'm catching up on that. I've seen a lot of Kubrick. I haven't seen all of Kubrick. There are still a couple out there that I haven't seen, but I own most of them. Other than the ones that I haven't seen. Kurosawa is another one I have to get quite a few. A Japanese director I have likely seen almost nothing from is Ozu, and I do have to correct that. But yeah, I mean, if it's mainstream and stuff like that, and it's been released since the 70s, I've probably seen it. If it's independent, you know, but decently put out there, there's a good chance I've seen it. I haven't seen everything. I mean, like, up until I got this, I didn't know what Hell Roller was. I still don't know what Hell Roller is, and I've seen this now. Yeah. Honestly, if somebody would put out a fully remastered, trying to get rid of all the imperfections in VHS version of Hell Roller on DVD or Blu-ray, I think it was a shot on video, so going Blu-ray would be pointless. But you know, other than this release, which is, you know, like I said, if you watched my previous video on that, this is a DVD-R, so he burns on demand. It's essentially somebody's put the video cassette in their tape player, piped it into their computer, and copied it, and then they burn the thing, and they print up these stupid, like, I mean, look at this. It doesn't even reach across. Doesn't even reach across. Yeah. No UPC. Yeah. So, whether he got permission to do it or not, it's not the point. Didn't really put the effort into it. And yeah, I'll call him on it. I'll call you on it, Mr. VHS Hit Fest or VH Shit Fest, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Though I did watch the documentary, at least that was a proper release. So, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of movies most people haven't. But again, I haven't seen everything. I don't claim to have seen everything. I've just seen a hell of a lot more than most people. And I know a lot of people who may have seen just as much as me, but have seen everything I haven't. Like, seriously. Like, Godard, I've seen very little of Godard. But I know somebody who's seen all of Godard. And Ozu. And Kurosawa. And all these other films. And I know people who only watch, like, Japanese films for the most part. Like, 90% Japanese films. clearly they're going to see a lot of movies I've never seen. And I'm not just talking about, movies released here. They're talking about, they watch movies that don't get released anywhere. Independence, all that kind of stuff. So, I try and see as many as possible. But sometimes you die and you just can't watch them all. Because honestly, they've done a study. There have been more movies than there is time in a lifetime to watch. So it's literally impossible for me to have seen everything. And that's just going by time. If we also take into the fact that there's a lot of stuff that only played in theaters before I was born and was either, destroyed, has been lost, or a combination of the two where the masters were lost and everything else was destroyed, or the masters were destroyed and everything else was lost, or maybe they had the masters, they still have the masters, but they've degraded to the point where you can't do anything with them. There are a lot of movies that are like that. A lot. Including stuff with, very popular people like Clint Eastwood. But that's another discussion for another day. So the fact of the matter is, I can't see everything, you can't see everything, but together, you and I, we can see a lot more. So tell me what you like, tell me what you think of the pickups, tell me if you've seen them, post a comment down on the doobly-doo, let's get a discussion going, and I'll talk to you. Talk at you? Yeah, I guess so. I will talk at you through the camera in the next video. Take care. Have a good one.